until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. Innocent.
That's true. It is innocent until proven guilty. That's those are Luigi Mangione protesters or followers, or whatever you want to call them. Well, they'll be back, and so will he, in federal court today. But there's another story brewing here. It's the alleged escape plot that is making headlines today. Authorities say that one of Mangione's superfans thought that he could pose as an FBI agent and break Luigi out of jail. The criminal complaint says a man identified as Mark Anderson approached the intake area at the jail where Mangione is being held. Allegedly, he had an order signed by a judge to free Luigi. When asked for his credentials, he pulled out his Minnesota driver's license and said, "Hey, by the way, I've got some weapons in my bag." There they were, the weapons. There's a photo from the New York Post showing the pizza cutter he was armed with and a barbecue fork as well. Anderson was taken into custody and now, ironically, facing federal charges and being held in the same jail as Mangione. Here to discuss, criminal defense attorneys Joe Tamburino and David Gelman. It's laughable. We're going to talk about what is not laughable, the seriousness of the court appearance today. A lot going on, a lot on tap there. But let's start with this, the idea that a guy shows up with his pizza cutter and says, "Hey, gentlemen, I'm here to take Luigi home with me. I'll just wait in my car if you could bring him out." David, your thoughts on this and the idea that so many people love this guy who is on video, allegedly, taking a person's life?
Well, you know, for the jail staff, it's probably pretty easy because they didn't have to go very far to lock him up. So I'm sure they like that part. And it is comical and sad at the same time. This is probably an individual that's probably got some mental illness issues, I would imagine, because nobody in the right mind is going to go up to a jail, especially a federal penitentiary or federal holding facility, and just say, "Oh, hey, look, here's a judge's signature. Yeah, just let Luigi come with me. We're all good." Never going to happen. But this goes to a bigger thing, because think about it. You're going to have a jury selection eventually with this matter. And this is a case that's been sensationalized throughout the country. It's going to be maybe a little more difficult than prosecutors, I think, originally thought to get a unbiased jury, if you think about it. You know, because if you just get one, we all know that's going to taint the jury, and that's going to just, you know, have a mistrial. So I think this is going to keep happening, not to this extent, obviously, but the prosecutors are going to have to be wary moving forward, I think, about, you know, his superfans.
Joe, you're in Minnesota, and I know the cold weather can sometimes make you a little wacky. This guy apparently drove from a pizza parlor in Minnesota with his pizza cutter, which, courtesy of the New York Post, we have the video of. Your take overall on this, and the more, as David sort of alluded to, the deeper issue here of the fact that this defendant for murder has an army of support.
Well, two things. First, I would really like it, and I think most people here in Minnesota would too, that Minnesota is off the news for a while. I mean, you know, for the last 6 years, it's just nonstop. There's always something going on here, or Minnesota connected to something. I would just like to see us out of the news. And yes, it appears like this guy, Mr. Anderson, is from Minnesota, he had a Minnesota DL. But to the second point, well, this is all because of social media. So much of social media is toxic, we all know. And, you know, the lawsuits going on right now in LA as to whether or not social media or these giant tech companies basically are committing what would be a products liability type of civil action. So they're suing them, you know, does these types of social media produce people who, or have people who, you know, suffer from depression, things along those lines. But that's what I chalk all this up to, which is social media somehow he's gotten this entourage of people that think he's a superhero, and it just builds on itself. It's so misguided.
All right, let's talk about what's happening today in court, where Luigi Mangione will make an appearance. And it could be a big day for him, because today we could get a ruling from the judge in terms of what the defense wants here, David, and that is to get rid of a part of the stalking case, the enhancer, which carries an intent to kill on it right now, which makes him eligible for the death penalty. They're arguing against that. I don't know how you win that argument. His stalking seems to have been to kill, because we see it on the video. But a lot at stake here, because at least at this juncture, the goal is to get the death penalty off the table in federal court today. Your take on the chances for Luigi and his defense team?
For today, I think 0% chance that the death penalty is off the table. I don't even think the judge is going to touch that, honestly. And look, I agree with you, Ted. What's the whole idea of stalking? You know, it's to make somebody in fear of their life, obviously. And in this particular instance, he had a gun. He knew exactly what he was doing. He stalked to kill. So I don't even know how they're going to get the death penalty part, or that part, off the table. But yeah, today, I don't think the judges, and frankly, I don't think the judge wants to have the death penalty off the table just yet, for the simple reason that keeping it on there is a negotiation tactic for the government. Because if you have that on there, maybe you could get a plea deal for, murder and possibility of life without possibility of parole. I don't know if that's something that they would even want to do, but at least you have that in your chest, in your war chest, if you think about it. So I just don't think that's going to be happening today.
Good point. Let's first, Joe, weigh in on that, and then also I want to talk about the state versus the feds. The state wants to go first. It seems like they want the trial in July, and that would push them in front of the feds. What's the theory behind that? Is this a ego thing where prosecutors want first dibs, or what's your take on why the competing, let me go first, and then also weigh in, if you would, on his chances of getting the enhancer booted and the death penalty gone today?
Well, with the enhancer, his chances are slim to none. I mean, I understand why he's doing it. It's a death penalty case. You have to contest every piece of evidence. You have to make every motion. You have to dot every I, cross every T. I get it. But the likelihood of him prevailing on winning on the enhancer and removing the death penalty is slim to none. In terms of who goes first, I can understand why the state wants to go first. It was their investigation first. The feds came in second. And, there is a state interest in trying to get this matter concluded before the feds step in. However, the federal charge carries the death penalty. The federal charge clearly has greater weight. So, of course, I think the federal charge should go first. What's interesting, and I'm not any type of expert on New York law, what's interesting is the Manhattan DA is arguing that, look, if we don't go first and the feds go first, that could trigger double jeopardy problems for us. That's very interesting, and I'd like to know more about that.
Okay, we'll see it all play out again. Luigi Mangione in court today, and we'll monitor what happens.